Hey guys, I'm back with another process video, and today I will be making a A4 size layout, or 8.5 by 11 sort of layout for any Americans watching. So yes, I will be using my kit for this month, based on the Ellie Studio stuff, and I pulled out this picture. This is a picture of me and my friends when we were on our school trip in Greece last Easter. Um, and I thought I'd lost all these pictures when my phone crashed and everything was lost, but I had sent them to my friends through Messenger. So I just downloaded them and here I have them. So I was very happy. Anyway, so I have an idea that I'm going to use a bunch of these cut aparts on this layout. So I went through and just cut the ones that were relevant, and I'm going to put the rest over to the side. And now I'm just playing, I'm kind of fooling around with placement. It's not going to look anything like this at the end, but I wanted to kind of see if I liked this idea before I further went along with it. I know it looks very messy at the moment, but I did like the idea of it. So yeah, I have some blues, some yellows, some grays, some greens. I don't think I'm going to end up bringing any red in the mix, but yes. Okay, so now I'm going to go and pulling all my embellishments to the side, and I'm going to go through the paper that I have in the kit, which is basically this 4x6, this 6x6 paper pad, and then a scrap piece of 12x12. And I also picked out those two cards, which I completely forget about and I'm not going to use. So I'm going through this paper pad, and I'm picking out any papers that I think might work, any things that I can use for cut aparts, and so forth. And now I'm gonna go through these and decide and just kind of see what I can do. So I found this scrap piece of this chevron kind of paper, which I love, and I thought it looked really well on the page, so I'm going to use it. But first I'm going to do some mixed media. So I pulled out a couple of distress inks. This is Twisted Citron. Oh my god, I forgot the colors for distress inks. Okay, so that is a distress oxide, and then I have two distress inks in Mustard Seed and Mermaid Lagoon. And I felt that the yellow was a bit too mustardy, so I decided to pull out my acrylic ink, and in white, and just put it on there and kind of spread it over the paint. So my brush also has some water on it, so the paint reacted with the water. The distress inks reacted with the water and kind of spread, and then there's also the white on top. I really like the look that this gave. And then I decided to do some splatters as well using my white acrylic ink. And this is from Pebeo, this ink, I think. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, but okay, and I do like how the photo looks on there and the embellishments and such, so I'm going to let it dry and come back to it. But first, I wanted to add, I remembered I had some tissue paper. Since I don't have a lot of paper, and since my texture drawer and alphas and whatnot is not in mixed media, I don't include those in kits. I just grab them from my stash. I forgot to mention that in the kit share, I think. But anyway, so I pulled out this tissue paper. This is just tissue paper that a gift from my grandma once came wrapped in. And it has this blue metallic on it, and I thought it matched really nicely. I'm also going to map my photo in my standard scrap piece of notebook looking paper. I just feel like that gives it some texture, and also it gives it a white border so it stands out from anything that I add behind it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through my embellishments. I did kind of try to assemble the page on my desk without the the background, but it wasn't really working. But anyway, so then I pulled out this wood veneer because I thought I might want to use it. I'm taking a look at these words because I love them and I thought I might use them. I'm also taking a look at these chipboard stickers. Now my background is kind of ready, so I'm going to go ahead and glue down my photo to the tissue paper and then start working using my background. So yeah, I always use, when I'm going to stick tissue paper, I always use tape for the photo. I put it on the photo and stick it onto the tissue paper because, I don't know, it doesn't want to come off the tissue paper. So yes, and then I've discovered that actually the tissue paper is much easily glued with my Yoo-Hoo glue stick for some reason, so that's good news. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back to assembling the page. I'm sorry it's a bit off camera. I'm still trying to, I'm a bit rusty making videos. I'm still trying to figure out my setup again. So yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna do something I do not normally do. I am going to cut this right off like this so I could use it as I can move it around. I do not normally like to cut up my sticker sheets, but I was like in the mood. I was like, what the heck, I'm just gonna do it. So yes, I cut out the word fun, and then I'm gonna cut out the word fave, and we'll see what where I end up placing those. So I decided to just glue down my picture and be done with it up at the top, and I'm gonna have all the cut aparts down below it. And then I'm adding that that scrap piece of paper under it, and then I'm gonna start layering not layering, just kind of placing all my die cut pieces. So I did decide I need some more paint under the photo and a bit on top. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo my technique. Now I forgot to do it on top, but I'm going to come back and do it later off camera at the end once I realized that, because it was driving me crazy. And also looking at the finished layout, I kind of wish there was a bit more color on each side, but that's okay, it's done. Maybe I should just like ink the edges or something, and that would look okay. I don't know, I'm still thinking about it. Okay, so back to that piece. I really like how it's ripped, it's not straight. So yeah, so now I'm just assembling. I'm trying to keep the blues and the greens on different sides so they're not stacked over each other. So yeah, so it's very generic things. I have like something with smile. I have date and location. I have like a list of 1, 2, 3. I have photo notes. I mean, it's very generic words that I thought worked with this picture and with friends as well. Like we had so much fun, for example. So I realized that my photo's a bit crooked, so I'm gonna attempt to straighten it a bit. And adding more glue. Okay, and then I wanted to see what I could do with my title. So I'm taking a look at my stickers, and I'm gonna finally use them. I'm gonna use those red ones in a bit here. So I really like the word fun on the photo. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. I wanted to check that I liked this corally color on here first, and I do. And also there's a slight coral color in the cut apart that says 1, 2, 3, so I thought it was okay. So I'm gonna glue down the word fun, and then just spell out with hats under it. So this kind of has become a tradition. So we were at the mall once, and we were doing a surprise party for one of our friends kind of thing, but we hadn't bought her present, so we split up. Two of us were with her, and then 2 of us went to buy the present, and we both ended up taking pictures of us with crazy hats in separate occasions, like not coordinated at all. So then we went to Greece, we kind of did it again, but I mean, we did coordinate it this time. So yes, it's kind of weird. Anyway, so back to the layout. So I have the blue cut apart at top, and I have a yellow one, and I have another blue one, and then I have 2 green ones. So these are all from Ellie's Studio, except for this the green one with the lines. That's from Amy Tangerine. Okay, so now I'm going to start gluing some of these down, and then last minute I decide that I want to split this in 2 because it's covering up all the ripped edge of that paper, and I don't want it to. So that's going to change my configuration a bit, but that's okay. So I'm adding that here and now piece next to it to fill in the gap. And I did something stupid. I decided to glue down this photo notes at the bottom just so I can have like a point of reference for where to put the middle ones. And I'm going to end up kind of changing the orientation of the middle area, or lining it up a bit more, so then that photo notes doesn't really fit there, so I'm going to have to pull it off, and it's going to get a bit ripped, but it's okay. Okay, so I wanted to make sure, because now I do have a lot of the small pieces. So I want to make sure that I can line up as many as possible. I did go ahead and kind of cut that piece with the 1, 2, 3, so it's a bit more square, a bit smaller. I felt that it looked better. I did have a bit of a debate there on whether I should pull in that other one, the gray one, but I decided it was too much gray, and I don't want to use that. So now I'm just gluing everything down, just cheap double-sided tape that I get from a stationery store. I'm pretty sure it's like 90 cents. So here is where I'm moving the green cutter part over to the side, and that means that there's not really a lot of space for me to add that fave word. I did kind of want to add it because it brought in that white finish somewhere else that the fun word has, but it's not going to make it anywhere. I did consider for a second adding it there, like overlapping some of the cutter parts, but at this point I have way too many words on this page, so I decided to just get rid of it. I don't need more words. So yeah, so I decided I thought I could bring in this white using the I don't know what to call them, like in the letters, like, oh, for example, it's filled in, but you don't really use that piece, so I'm just using that sort of as an enamel dot. But I think I end up taking them off. So I do want to bring in the coral somewhere else, so I'm going to add a couple of these asterisks throughout, and that just makes a triangle, and it all works well. I'm going to add some journaling, so I'm adding half the date because I didn't remember exactly. I had to consult my phone, which I use for filming. I'm going to add the location later, which is, we were in Corinth, at the canal. We're next to a souvenir shop next to there. Okay, I'm going to add some photo notes later. I'm going to add some doodly stars as well. And then I think I'm going to come back and splatter again with my white acrylic ink. Now that pen is just, I don't know, my mom got them from Amazon. It's a black gel point pen. So that's the layout. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.